Hello friends, it's Grace and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about my 2024 series plans. And this is actually a shorter list than you might think. And the reason for that is because I'm going to do a whole different video, which is a series update, which is going to be like an entire survey of series that I have finished recently, have started recently, like series that I'm kind of like in the middle of, etc. I've done those videos before if you've seen them on my channel, but this video is specifically series that I want to start in 2024 and, like in most cases, except for one exception, finish in 2024 as well. And that is just a very specific subset of them, and they're series that I'm looking forward to in the new year, and so I have 4 of them on this list. So let's get into it. The first series that we have on this list is The Age of Madness by Joe Abercrombie, which begins with A Little Hatred, then The Trouble with Peace, and then The Wisdom of Crowds. So this is a series that Ben and I are going to be reading together starting in January in the new year. I'm very, very excited for this. We haven't actually read Joe Abercrombie together, even though both of us have, of course, read like the First Law trilogy and then the standalones, the Great Leveler trilogy, so that we're ready to read this trilogy, but we're very, very excited. And I believe that this, it's the Age of Madness trilogy. I literally already said that. I don't know why the name just like popped in and out of my head, but this Age of Madness trilogy follows a new generation of characters, like the children of characters that we've followed in the past. So I'm really looking forward to more of Joe Abercrombie's characterization, his prose, his humor, the same kind of level of politics, and like the world building and magic of his world. Well, the magic mostly is it has this eerie quality to it, and some of the things that he's introduced and the possibilities that he has introduced are truly kind of like scary. And so I'm really looking forward to what he does in this final trilogy. And I think this is the end of the First Law world. I suppose he could write more if he wanted, but as far as I know, this is it for the First Law world. So I am really very interested in what is going to come of this and just to get back into his books in general. Now, with the next couple of series on this list, you'll see why we only have 4 series on this list, because they're big boys. So the next series that I want to start in 2024 is Malazan, which of course begins with Gardens of the Moon by Stephen Erickson. We love a Canadian author. This one I honestly don't have too much to say about in detail, because I have like avoided like spoilers and discussions about this series like I avoid like potholes. I don't even know. But like the truth is that I really don't know that much about this series, except for like the kind of like level of difficulty you might call it, and like some of the conversations that it has and the tone that it sets, I guess. But I don't know. I've always known that I've wanted to read this eventually. And now that I'm clear of the Wheel of Time and the Realm of the Elderlings, I think that it's time to start Malazan. So I honestly don't have any strict plans for this. Like I genuinely don't know when in 2024 I'm going to start this, but I know that I will start it in 2024. Then next up we have the Stormlight Archive. You guys knew it was coming. This reread has been a long time coming, because The Way of Kings was pretty much the very first fantasy book that I picked up on BookTube's recommendation when I got into this corner of BookTube in 2020, like during COVID, when all I was looking for was something to do, and I'm so happy that I found it. But I read these in 2020 in preparation basically for the release of Rhythm of War, and then I read Rhythm of War right away. So it's been at least 3 years at this point, and then by the time Knights of Wind and Truth comes out in, I believe, November or December of next year, I really hope, like it'll have been 4 years. And so a reread is absolutely called for, and that's going to be the project for 2024, is a reread of all 4 of these books to prepare for the new release. And like, I guess that's 1 book per quarter, 1 book per 2 months, let's say, so that you're like, we're for sure prepared. I don't really know what the exact timeline is going to be, but that's the general idea. And like, I'm not running a read along or anything for this. Like, if you end up joining our Discord, which I always have linked in the description, I'm sure me and Ben will talk openly about when we're planning to read this, but there's not going to be anything formal going on associated with it. We're just going to be, like I said, we're going to be rereading the series in preparation for the newest release, and I'm really excited about it. And I've read so much since I last picked up a Sanderson, where, like, I love Sanderson, don't get me wrong, but I'm just like, I'm so hoping that this series holds up to the way I felt about it the first time I read it. That's the ideal outcome. And then in comparison to all of these other series, the last one that I have to talk about is like just a little guy, but something that I'm really, really excited about, and that is the Elements of Cadence duology by Rebecca Ross. So I have read Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, and I plan to finish out that duology soon after that second book comes out, which is at the end of December. So I won't be starting this, well, December's this year anyway, so I won't be starting this until next year, but I believe I'm going to finish out that first duology before I move on to A River Enchanted and A Fire Endless. But seeing as this is just a duology, I thought that it was safe to put it on here as something that I'm very excited about, but that it's actually probably very realistic for me to be able to start and finish next year. And then there's a lot of other series that kind of fit the same bill, except that they are already in progress. So we're going to talk about those in my series update. And that one will be a lot more in-depth, just because that's going to include all of the series that I have like in progress, whereas these are specifically ones that I have not started yet, but I'm going to in the new year. So those are the 4 series that I'm excited to start in 2024. And I'm sure that a lot of you guys are also going to be rereading Stormlight Archive, so I'm super excited to have that community going next year. But come talk to me in the comments. Let me know any series that you're excited to start in 2024, whether you have some of the same as me or whether you have like some entirely different series that I've never even heard of. I would love to hear about your plans, and I'm always looking for more book recommendations as well too, so those are always welcome. Now, with that said, that's the end of the list. That's all I have to say. So please like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me. As always, I have my Discord and socials linked in the description if you're interested in any of that stuff or where else to find me, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!